Hello Scorpio, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We are going to be looking at all three sides of the connection. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it, the concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As I do in all of my readings, I've pulled the overall energy, clarified those messages as well as the overall theme, but we still have a different tarot deck we'll be using for each side of this connection that we'll be diving into. And then I also have this advice deck that I'll be closing out the reading with in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, these energies can be swapped, so this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point of these readings is for you to take what helps and resonates with your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Scorpio. Let's start by looking at your side. You have second option with the Knight of Cups in reverse. This person makes you feel like an option. I just feel as if you're never truly a priority for them. And it feels as if there's this energy of doing what you can out of hopes to be chosen, but never feeling as if you are fully chosen. Now, I do feel as if there's more to why that's happening than meets the eye, because this person has options are kept open with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This is the first time I've ever had that, so I thought that was kind of interesting. And what I'm gathering from this is it just feels as if this person doesn't know how to fully invest, doesn't know how to fully commit. Even if you've been married to this person, it feels as if there is this energy of one foot in, one foot out, wishy-washy kind of energy. And first and foremost, you absolutely deserve more than that. But I also feel like there's a specific reason why this dynamic in particular is triggering you the way that it is. Because in between this connection, the truth is some people never change with the Moon card. So I feel as if there's this energy of really hoping that things change in this connection, and maybe even giving so much to this connection out of hopes that things change. But then just, it's like the more that things change, the more that you fear not only that they'll never change, but that you never will be chosen by someone that you wish to choose you. And I can tell you right now that that's absolutely not the case. You will always have the opportunity to love and be loved in the way that you deserve and desire. But a lot of times when we're facing situations like this, it can teach us what we need to know in order to attract those situations into our life. Because the overall theme of this reading is karmic path. So I feel as if there's a really deep-seated karmic lesson in this connection, one about being chosen or being prioritized, that is trying to be brought through. But we will obviously see more when we dive into tarot. So I want to start, Scorpio, with your side of this. You have second option with the Knight of Cups in reverse. This is Scorpio's side of this connection to the person they're dealing with. All right. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. There's this feeling of this connection makes you feel very unsecure. There's a lack of safety, a lack of security here. And I feel like that's because you never feel like this person is fully committed. It's almost as if you're constantly guessing how they feel about you, if they're going to do the things that they say they're going to do. And that overall lack of security has been really challenging. Now, typically when you're dealing with that in connections, it's not that it's like that all the time. I feel as if it's kind of one of those things where when this person is communicating with you or when you're together, things probably feel really good. But then when you're apart and that kind of insecurity kicks in because you can feel this person's wishy-washiness, things start to feel, you start to get a little bit more unsettled with things. And I feel like that's ultimately because you never really know where you stand here. I think that that's the biggest thing. I feel as if, and then this is kind of what I was saying, this person has the tendency to make you really happy. It's almost as if when things are good, they're really, really good. You feel kind of this warmth, this bright kind of sun vibe from the connection. But with the Eight of Pentacles, it's almost as if you have to work really, really hard for those moments. And almost, because with the Seven of Wands in reverse, at the expense of your own boundaries as well. So, and that's the biggest thing and the hardest thing when you're dealing with wishy-washy energy is it's obviously not gonna be bad all the time, right? Or else you'd just be like, oh, screw this, I'm out. But I do feel as if there are, it's like when the good is there, it is really good, it's really promising, but then when there's the absence of those times, there's a lot of stress, of insecurity, of fear that kind of starts to trickle in, wondering if you're ever going to get back to this moment again, kind of those happy sun times that are possible here. Scorpio side of the connection. It's like you have to work really hard for this connection, work really hard for this person's attention or this person's love or something like that. That's in reverse. Eight of Wands in reverse. Okay, yeah. Eight of Swords. A lot of confusion here. Not really knowing what to think, because I feel as if there's a big contrast here, especially seeing the sun here and then having the moon. It's like there's a big contrast in how things are in this connection. It's almost, yeah, like when they're good, they're really good, but when they're not, it's really not good. And it has you in this place of not knowing what to think or how to feel or even what to do. And it's very triggering. It's very emotionally triggering for you, which makes a lot of sense, but I feel like that stems from somewhere. Okay, I'm switching things up this week, so I'm going to hop on over to them, then we'll come back to you, then back to them. So I'm still going to pull the same amount of messages. I'm just kind of shifting the order here, but let's see. What is this person dealing with? Options are kept open with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It's almost as if, I don't know if they've ever really fully committed to anyone. Again, marriage should obviously be an emotional commitment, right? But I think for, unfortunately, an unfortunate number of people, it ends up being more of like yeah, I'm committing, but the emotional commitment still isn't there. So even, that's what I mean. Like, even if you're married to this person, it's like you don't really know how they feel, what they're thinking, where you stand. And that isn't fair to you, but maybe we'll see what's kind of going on here. Okay, well, I don't like that message. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Because there you are. See, they undervalue you. They don't show up in a way that aligns with your value. They undervalue you. Now, when you hear that, I feel like sometimes that can be like, oh, ouch, they don't value me, they don't see my value. But I want you to try to think less about the fact that they don't see your value, and in a personal way, like you haven't done enough or you are not valuable, and more about the fact that people often project their own value, the way that they view their own value, into others, right? So it's almost as if, like, because the Ten of Pentacles in reverse is like a lack of gratitude. It's almost as if they aren't appropriately seeing the value that you add to their life. I think that that's more what I'm trying to say. It's like you do add value to their life, but they're not, they almost feel maybe not necessarily entitled to it. I don't think that that's the right word, but it's almost as if they lack gratitude for it. Which, like, unappreciative. They're just unappreciative of you, which is the fastest way to kill any connection, being unappreciative of your partner. But I'm not saying, like, I feel like that can be taken so, I feel like this is just kind of their thing. Like, it's not you, it's just they have a tendency to kind of undervalue all of the good in their life. Yeah, just kind of like a little of just pretty kind of selfish energy is what I'm gathering here. Because it's not that you don't provide value to them. It's just like they don't appreciate it. They don't appropriately appreciate it to the level that you deserve to be appreciated. The Tower. You could be dealing with an earth sign. Second time we've seen the Queen of Pentacles. You definitely don't have to be by any means. This energy it's gotten them into trouble before with the Tower and the Ace of Swords in reverse. This lacking appreciation for the people who add value to their life, not appropriately valuing the people around them. This has gotten them into trouble before, but there's not been any adjustment. Because the Ace of Swords in reverse is like still lacking clarity. So victim mentality is what I'm gathering here. It's like it's always everybody else's fault in a way. Always everybody else's fault. Lack of seeing the truth. There it is. Oh, okay, there you are again. Wait, hang on. That is in reverse. Okay, Justice in reverse. Ace of Cups in reverse with the Ace of Swords in reverse. It's almost as if, this is a total lack of accountability. A total lack of accountability. Putting the blame on you in some way. It's your fault that they don't know how to value good things in their life. Okay, both of these run deeper though. That's my goal for this reading. I want to figure out where this is all stemming from, because there's more to both sides of this. But yeah, total lack of accountability. It's like, I kind of got with that victim mentality. But let's see. Scorpio side of this connection. Because yeah, you're treated like an option. Which anyone that doesn't recognize your value is not... First of all, don't ever take that as an indication or an invitation, why I confuse those two words, as an invitation to prove your value. And also, I guess, don't take it as any kind of indication of what your value really is. It's neither an indication of what your value is or an invitation to prove your value. Because I feel like this person's got some stuff going on below the surface that doesn't have anything to do with you. It's usually the case, right? The way that people treat us has very little to do with us and pretty much everything to do with them. So, okay, yeah, I'm going to keep going. All right, this is for Scorpio's side of the connection. The Empress in reverse. And I said this, it's almost as if because of the times that are really good, you sacrifice your boundaries for those times. And that's the biggest thing that we have to recognize, is that sometimes we mistake self-sacrifice, lacking boundaries, accepting mistreatment. Sometimes we mistake all of these things as unconditional love. But instead, what we have to look at that as is actually a projection of our desire to be loved. And that love that we're looking for, it's got to come from us. It's got to come from ourselves. And what that love looks like is learning to not self-sacrifice, not let your boundaries be overstepped, which is it's a difficult thing to do. But I do feel in this connection, it's almost as if there's this part of you that's like, oh, okay, if I can just sacrifice my boundaries, self-sacrifice, for now, I can have those good times when they come. And then the more that I self-sacrifice, the more this person is going to see how valuable I am because of how much I'm willing to sacrifice for them or how much I'm willing, to put up with for them. And then eventually things will be good all the time. That's typically kind of the mindset that we have a tendency to take on whenever we're being treated like an option. And I'm not saying you are. I just feel as if this person has made you feel that way. And that within itself isn't fair to you. But I feel as if there's this need to see that first and foremost, you don't have to put up with any of that. You deserve people who choose you. You deserve to pour into people who pour into you. But sometimes we think that that's never going to happen, or we mistake pouring into someone as self-sacrifice, and we think that self-sacrifice makes us more worthy, when in reality the universe provides exactly as we affirm. And when we affirm our self-sacrifice and our lack of boundaries, what we're going to continue to receive are connections that require that, or energy that requires that. And I feel as if that's what's happened here. Six of Pentacles in reverse with the Death. Because you got to put an end to this lack of reciprocation. Because this is why you have some people never change. Sometimes we wait and wait and wait on people to choose us and to see our value. And in reality, I actually feel like there's more divine protection going on here. It's almost as if the universe is saying, not this way. Because I can tell you with absolute certainty, no matter who you are, what you think you've done, what flaws you think you have, you deserve more than what this person is providing you. And maybe you know that. Maybe you're learning that through this connection. That most likely has to do with this kind of karmic lesson here. Scorpio side of the connection. Yeah, because look what this cycle keeps doing to you. The Ten of Swords, it is a painful, painful cycle. It's like, it feels like it's not just you haven't been chosen one time. Like, that's not what it feels like. It feels like this person is constantly not prioritizing you, not choosing you, not making you feel loved, appreciated, valued, in the way that you deserve to feel. Now, with the Queen of Wands in reverse here, or just the Queen of Wands in general, you could be dealing with fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Again, you absolutely do not have to. But this is a very, very painful cycle. It's kind of interesting because there's a Strength card, so you could be dealing with a Leo. But, again, you don't have to. This person's energy toward Scorpio. This person's energy towards Scorpio. Whoa. There's the cycle. The same cycle. I knew that was going to be the case. This person lacks inner confidence. Okay? They probably don't show it. It doesn't have to look like they do. In fact, it could even be the opposite. They could even come off as overly confident. But when people lack confidence, they look for other people to make them feel good about themselves. So they look for attention and love and acceptance where they can get it. And that feels like that is what this person has a tendency to do. It's why they keep their options open, because no one person can fulfill somebody else's sense of self, somebody else's sense of confidence. Your sense of confidence cannot come from anybody else outside of yourself. It has to come from you. So if someone like this is dealing with not feeling confident in who they are, not feeling good enough for love, they're going to look for other people to make them feel good enough. And when eventually that runs out, because it's going to, then they're going to continue to look for that in other places. And that is literally no indication of your worth or your value or what you bring to the table. And it has every indication of this person's, they're never going to be able to be satisfied in their connections, because unless you learn to provide yourself with the sense of confidence and certainty in who you are, finding your path, finding what's meant for you, you're going to continue to look for it in things that are temporary, meaning that they will eventually wear off, because no one person can provide us with that feeling or that sense of self. And so what I'm gathering and getting at here is that them not valuing you is no actual, like I've said like 4 times, indication of your value. It is, however, how they see themselves, a projection of how they see themselves, which is why we can never take other people's capacity to love or to see our value personally, because it's actually their own capacity to love and to see their value. But okay, anyway, let's get more. Yeah, see, they got some inner child wounding. Disappointing childhood. It almost feels as if they learned this from a young age, which is what that's saying. It's like they were disappointed by the love received in childhood. And so it's almost as if they view love as a disappointing thing. How do I put that? It's like they were never valued, so they never learned to value themselves, so they don't know how to value others. Which is sad, right? Got a lot of empathy for people that are struggling like that. But again, having empathy for someone and understanding why someone is the way that they are does not mean that we have to tolerate that behavior, because this is hurting you. Scorpio, this is hurting you greatly. And it feels like there's a need to dive a little bit deeper into what is really going on here. Yeah, because there's the 5 of Swords with the High Priestess. I mean, victim mentality, keeping people at an arm's length, not letting anybody in. And that's what I meant by like seeing love as a disappointing thing. Anytime they open themselves up to love or have to this point, they've obviously been very disappointed. And so they choose just not to value it altogether, because all they've ever really seen it as is something harmful to them. But then you have this lack of accountability and this lack of seeing things clearly. It's their goal is to protect themselves by pushing people away, regardless of how that hurts other people. And that right there is where hurt people hurt people. So I feel like what the biggest thing that you're needing to understand is this person's actions, inactions, choices in this connection. It has very little to do with you. Nothing to do with you, really. But you're going to need to see what is going to be best for you moving forward in terms of making sure you're setting boundaries and being unapologetic about what it is that you need and desire and love in order to not settle for anything less than that. Yeah, see, they don't want to lose you. They don't want to lose this connection. And it's because it's filling them up, right? It's adding to that sense of confidence that they lack in themselves. They don't want to lose this connection, but they're not, it's almost as if, but they're not committing to it. They don't want to lose it, but they want their cake and they want to eat it too, is what it feels like. And whatever that means to you, I'm not saying like they're cheating on you or anything like that. They could be, but you would know about it. I haven't seen any Three of Pentacles or anything. So I just feel as if it's this energy of this person wanting connection for selfish reasons on a subconscious level, but not recognizing that that's the case on a conscious level, and then using kind of their hurt from their past to hurt other people without an awareness of it. There's a lack of awareness of what's going on here. So it's a lot to kind of process and think about for sure, especially because I feel as if, I don't know, I just feel as if you have kind of this love for this person where you're willing to look past it, especially if you know what they've been through. You know, you want to be able to be the person that teaches them what love really is, but you cannot love someone who is not willing to be loved. And that is the tough freaking truth. You cannot love somebody who is not willing to open up themselves to love. You cannot value someone who's not willing to be valued. And I feel as if that's what this person is kind of dealing with here, which is obviously directly impacting you, because you're going, why won't they choose me? Why won't they commit to this? Well, their commitment issues, their emotional unavailability, their trauma, their hurt, all of that stuff that they're dealing with, that's not your burden to bear. It's not that they're not choosing you, it's that they're not choosing themselves, and it's being reflected in not choosing the love that you have to give them. So, all right. In between the connection, you have some people never change with the moon. These messages came out like that. Like, it was just a very straightforward reading. Anyway, I'm going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to pull 9 different messages looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Thank you so much, Scorpio, as always, for your support of my channel. I obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Scorpio.